For more on the back-to-school story, we now cross to SABC News reporter Nozintombi Miya, who is joining us from Cosmo City in Gauteng. Nozintombi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell us about what's happening in Cosmo City and the school that you're currently at.
Thank you so much, Eldrin. It really has been a hive of activity here in Cosmo City. I mean, the scenes that we saw this morning were of frustrated parents coming outside the school and queuing outside the school. I mean, the line was, I think the queue itself of parents was coming all the way towards the actual main street itself. That's how long it was. And these are some of the challenges that schools like this face. And I do have with me a guest, Mrs. Thea Abrams, the principal of the school, who's going to tell us more about some of the challenges that they faced and how the first day of school has gone so far. Thank you so much, Thea. Thea, how has it been this morning? I'm sure it's just been chaos.
Yeah, we've kind of learned to take it in our stride. It's an ongoing thing. It's a very densely populated area, first of all. Lots of people migrating into the suburb and so on. So it can be very frustrating. I mean, we'd like to start off as smoothly as most other schools, but that's never been the case in Cosmo City, unfortunately.
That's very true. I mean, this is a very densely populated area, as you said. One of the ladies you spoke to is a foreign national who came and said she has no papers, and the school turned her away. But I mean, she has no papers. This is the level of confusion is just it's stunning.
I think one of the major challenges is, a few of them. Firstly is that parents, when they get communication from the department after they've registered, many of them are gogos and so on, and they don't read the messages properly. So they think once they've submitted an application that the child has been placed. That's the first thing. Secondly, when offers are made, parents don't come in to accept the offer. When we email them to say, please come and collect an acceptance letter, or you call them, the phone numbers change, they've lost their phone, etc. It's a gemors.
How many children do you have registered so far?
Currently, I have 2,395 registered, and I'm still busy registering, as you can see behind me.
How much do you expect that number to go up by?
I'm afraid to say, to be very frank. Yeah, no, it's probably going to go up by at least 300-400. That's normally the case every year. Our biggest challenge is, of course, classroom space. We don't have.
Capacity remains a big problem. Last year, the minister was here and she did promise assistance. Did that assistance come through?
Yeah. Look, she was fabulous, I have to say. The desks were delivered, the furniture was delivered the next day. So thank you, Ms. Mocheka. We are most appreciative. We were given funds as part of the department's self-build project. We're currently in the process of building 2 classrooms. It's grossly insufficient, though. We need at least another 6 to 8 classrooms. So I'm hoping that will materialize at some point. But like I said, the minister was wonderful. She did deliver on her promises. It's just, I don't think you can control what happens in a situation like this.
It's not necessarily an education problem. It's a socio-economic problem. And I mean, I know Minister Mocheka, she's one of those ministers who does stick to her word. One of the things which I saw, which was quite confusing, why are the parents coming to the schools instead of going to district offices? How does that process work?
I think, first of all, we were told not to send parents to the district for logistical reasons, I'm assuming. But also, we do our very best to try and solve the issues. Very often, district doesn't have access to the information that we might have. All they can do really is check to see where you've applied, where you've been placed. The biggest issue is when parents have been placed, for example, a parent lives in Cosmo City, but a child has been placed in Diepsloot. So then you have parents here saying, look, I'm sorry, my grade 1 can't travel all the way to Diepsloot. Do you have a space? What then happens is we have a centralized admissions point at another school. Parents go there, put their names on a list, and in a day or so, they come back and we have distributed learners. It's not ideal. Every single school is extremely overcrowded. But we do our best to try and make sure every kid gets a space.
Yeah, before I let you go, what now happens to these parents that have queued, just very quickly?
Well, they'll probably be here all day. They won't move. So what I'm doing right now, and myself and the admin staff, we're seeing them and making sure, that you have applied. Have you been placed here? Have they erroneously been left off something, off a list? But most of them aren't. Some of them have just they applied late, haven't applied at all.
So it's going to be a busy day. I'm going to leave it there with you, Thea. Thank you very much. Aldrin, just to show you what we're seeing here, I'm going to move out of shot. But these are the queues and queues and queues of parents that have been here since early this morning. And this is the frustration that schools have been going through, the frustration that parents have been going throughout the course of this morning. And this is the state that we're seeing on the first day back to school for the 2024 academic year. Long queues, frustrated parents, frustrated administrators. Aldrin.
Thank you so much. Nozintombi Miya there joining us from Cosmo City. Of course, today is day one of the 2024 academic year.